Have you ever wondered why Microsoft was first to introduce tablets and smartwatches, but Apple ended up owning the market? The answer is simple. Lack of product market fit. You can build the coolest product, but if it doesn't fit what people really want, it just won't catch on. In this video, we will uncover exactly what product market fit is, why it's crucial to your startup survival, and how you can find it. Let's get something straight. Product market fit is not a magic trick. There is not overnight success, it's hard work. Finding product market fit is a process. One that involves trial, error, iteration, and most importantly, listening to your users. So what exactly is product market fit? Venture capitalist Market Research put it simply. It means you are in a good market with a product that can satisfy that market. In other words, your product hits a real need in a big enough market that customers start loving in a mass. Why it's so important? Because no matter how great your team, marketing, or design, without product market fit, your startup will struggle. According to the Startup Genome Project, 42% of startups fail because they are solving a problem that doesn't really exist or isn't significant enough to the market. If people don't want or need what you are building, you will waste precious time, money, and energy trying to convince them otherwise. That's why finding product market fit is the most important thing you can do as a founder. How do you know when you reach product market fit? It may not be a single eureka moment, sometimes it's gradual, but there is a clear signals when things start clicking. Andreessen described the contrast vividly. When product market fit isn't happening, customers aren't getting much value. Word of mouth isn't spreading, usage is slugging, and sales circles drag on. But when product market fit hits, customers are buying the product just as fast as you can make it. Usage is growing as fast as you can get more servers. You are hiring sales and support as fast as you can. In other words, demand outruns supply. One simple way to measure product market fit is to ask your users, how disappointed would you be if you could no longer use this product? If at least 40% say they will be disappointed, congratulations, you're likely there. For example, early user Slack showed 51% very disappointed, which confirmed their product market fit even before Slack exploded in popularity. High retention rates, rapid usage, and customers paying without being heavily pushed are also golden signals you have built something valuable. Let's look at some real-world examples that show the massive bumpy road to product market fit. Airbnb began as two roommates renting air mattresses to conference goers. The idea was quirky and niche, and investors mostly dismissed them early on. But after seeing users from around the world ask for the service in their cities, Airbnb knew it had a spark. The real breakthrough came when Brian Chesky moved to New York and discovered that terrible photos of listings were scaring travelers away. So he and John Gavia rented a fancy camera, went door to door, and took professional photos. Bookings doubled in a month. This hustle unlocked trust, which was the key to growth. More importantly, Airbnb realized it wasn't just about cheap places to stay, it was about building a community. Travelers wanted aesthetic, local experiences, and hosts wanted a way to earn income. By embracing this deep need, Airbnb hit product market fit and grew to millions of listings worldwide. Slack's story is another classic example of pivoting to product market fit. It started as a quirky online game called Glitch, which failed, but the internal chat tool the team was built was so useful that they pivoted to make it the core product. They focused on solving real frustration in workplace communication, and less email thread and clunky tools. Slack launched publicly in 2014 and exploded through word of mouth. Within 2 years, it had tens of thousands daily users. The real insight came when half of Slack users said they had been disappointed without the product. That was a textbook sign of product market fit. Dropbox also nailed it by testing demand before the product was even built. Founder just simply made a 3-minute demo video showing how Dropbox would work and posted it online. The response was overwhelming. Thousands signed up for a beta and one even became his co-founder. This MVP approach saved time and money and proving there was a hungry market for seamless file syncing. After launching, Dropbox grew rapidly through referrals and word of mouth, hitting 10 million users within first year. The Dropbox story highlights how an MVP and user testing approach can validate product market fit early and set the stage for massive growth once the full product rolls out. All these stories share a few key lessons. Listen to your users, iterate constantly, and be willing to pivot when necessary. So how do you get product market fit? There is no simple formula and no two journeys are the same, but there are proven strategies and the best practices to improve your odds. Start with a clear problem. What urgent pain are you solving? Who exactly has this pain? Define it precisely. Then build your minimal viable product. It's just enough to test your idea with real users. The goal is quickly get something in front of real users to see if your solution resonates. Don't wait for perfection. You need feedback fast. Once you have an MVP, pay close attention to how people use it and what they say about it. That's where the learning begins. Get your MVP in front of early adopters and create channels for constant feedback. Even more powerful is observing user behavior. Where do they get stuck? Which feature do they love or ignore? Sometimes users will use your product in ways you didn't expect. Those insights can inform your next tweaks or even reveal a product direction. Try to close the loop by quickly iterating based on what you learn. If users complain about something or request a feature, see if you can improve it in the next update. When you're showing users that you are listening to them, it will trust and often make them even more engaged. Beyond structured feedback loops, do personal conversation with your users. Steve Blank calls getting out the building, like meeting people face-to-face or in call to truly understand their pains and needs. Ask open-ended questions to dig deeper and don't shy away from criticism. It's the fastest way to refine your ideas. When Slack's team realized other companies needed something different, they learned on this conversation to adapt. Even short weekly check-ins with users reveal patterns and help you zero in on what matters most. In the quest for product market fit, data is your compass. Pay close attention to retention, engagement, conversation, and satisfaction. If people don't come back or don't recommend you, that's a red flag that you haven't found the right fit yet. On the other hand, if you see a cohort of users with high engagement or retention, dig into that. It could be a niche that loves your product, offering clues on where you focus. Be less of data scientist and more an anthropologist. Some teams pretend to be scientists. Instead, keep it simple. Track basic user data, sort by the last active time to spot your most engaged user, then check out their LinkedIn or Instagram to interpret their behavior on your app through lens of their online identity. And reach out directly with a short feedback request, and do this regularly. These personal insights are often more valuable than a bunch of data points that don't really mean much. And when multiple iterations aren't working, be brave enough to pivot. If you tried multiple iterations and users still aren't excited or the market response is tepid, it might be time to rethink your approach. On the flip side, if you see a glimmer of strong adoption in one area, even small, that could be pointing the way. Pivoting is scary. It can feel like starting over, but many of the best startup stories involve a timely pivot. Just endure. Pivots are driven by evidence and insight, not by panic. Instagram pivoted from a check-in app to photo sharing after noticing users love one feature. Slack pivoted from a failing game to a chat platform. These pivots unlocked massive growth. Remember, persistence is key. Finding product market fit can take time and tenacity. Airbnb took 2 years of tough learning. Netflix took 18 months. Your journey can be stressful, but every bit of learning moves you closer. Once you find product market fit, growth becomes easier and opportunities multiply. Your startup moves from survival mode to scaling mode, and that's where the real fun begins. In short, product market fit means your product solves a problem people really care about, ones they are willing to pay for. Without product market fit, you won't have a solid foundation for growth. First step, find a real problem to solve. Then keep testing and adjusting as your product, market, and competitor evolve. Product market fit is a part art, part science, and above all, it's about understanding and serving people's true needs. Product market fit may be elusive, but it's achievable. Good luck on your journey. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button. Check the links below and follow us on social media for more tips and updates. And if you're ready to take your startup to the next level, visit molfar. We will help you build fast and smart. Catch you next time.